Yeah.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, you are audible to everyone, but not visible. Am I audible to you, sir? Am I visible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
I'm not audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible, sir.
Very good. Sir, I cannot see you. Yeah.
Sir, how are you, sir?
You are only on audio?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I am also available in the video, sir.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's visible now. Rocking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good.
Yes,
Thank
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I believe you are in Bhopal.
Yes, sir. I am.
Yeah,
Sir.
just I was inquiring about you. Yeah. And சகோதரர் இல்லாமல் இங்கே நிற்கிறது கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது. பூமி இல்லாத பூமி.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Students, actually, it's the greatest opportunity once again. Today we are going to have such a wonderful session.
Thank you,
On
sir.
approach for the current affairs for the personality test. The first session, which was conducted by our Harinar and IAS, we discussed about the various problems which will be faced by the beginners, particularly while filling up the dams. This session is going to be really useful for you, so that you can focus on the main important topics on which you can expect the questions with respect to the personality test. Students from not only from Chennai and Tamil Nadu, but also from other parts of India, they have joined in this program. I welcome on behalf of the institute, on behalf of the academy as a director. I would like to say a few things about this program. This program is being conducted in KingMakers Academy for the last few years with the help of former UPSC chairman as well as with the help of eminent personalities, which includes the senior most civil servants like our today chief guests like Jawahar and other members. And every time we are able to produce 100 plus toppers, including the All India toppers in 2023 and 2024. So this year also we hope we'll be able to help few achievers who can be in the top single digit rank. So I'm sure this kind of session will put you in the right direction with adequate motivation, will make you more comfortable so that you can feel more comfortable while you're coming for the one-on-one session, group discussion, as well as for the mock interview, and finally in your real personality test. So once again, I'm very happy to just have Shri Jawahar sir, all the students after their achievement, they never forget to mention one great resource person, that is Jawahar sir. Everybody, we are again confirm appointment with Jawahar sir for one-on-one session. So today he is with us. I'm sure you will enjoy this session. He's a man who used to prepare, who used to update everything like an aspirant who is going to appear for the examination, even sometime more than that. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So now I'm glad to start the session.
Yeah.
Because his time is very, very precious. So without taking much
Yes,
of his time.
Incidentally, I have one thing to tell you, sir, before you complete. After the result has come, now, I was in USA by that time. I got a number of WhatsApp calls and number of messages from those who are passed out, and they wanted to have the hand-holding and one-on-one session. And I have told them that everything is possible only when you come through the KingMakers Academy. And when I today came to the first time to the new campus, I was really thrilled. It is awesome. All the kind of
Thank you so much.
It's absolutely, because we have been moving with you since 2013, right? I was talking to you. Indeed, I wanted to come. I spoke to you. Still, I remember those days are green. And thank you for your introduction. And with your permission, I will start it.
Sir, I'm glad, and it's the greatest opportunity for all of us, sir. Please, sir, kindly proceed, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye. Just see how good the technology today is making. Indeed, when many of you would have seen the Elon Musk, he introduced his mobile phone. isn't it? So I was thinking, had I stayed for one more month in US, I would have got one and come here, just for the sake of, how it looks like, the kind of, how I'm going to contact from anywhere, any person, without what you call your other spectrum and all that. Now I'll go, my voice will hit direct to the satellite, and through his Starlink. He has got about, you'll be knowing, it's about 40 satellites. It's a web. So, you all, many of you are, science, engineering graduate, latency, isn't it? So the latency will be almost zero. That is what they are doing. So real time, almost it will look like real time. Maybe some microsecond or milliseconds difference will be there, which for a normal person it will not count, right? Okay. So I think with this, because the given time I would need to, I have come with a very structured plan. Sometimes that is a complaint against me. The problem is when you know too much, you try to give too much of knowledge on a single subject. And I'm aware, first of all, I would like to welcome all of you. Those who are offline, who are sitting before me, and those who are online. I welcome you. Those who are online, please listen carefully if it is possible, because I have only given the bullet points. The idea is that I don't want you to copy it entirely, because nothing can be copied and it will be helpful. Many of you can take down notes, and also I also request you to note down your questions. When you ask questions, please make it concise, precise, to the point. Sometimes we think we get an opportunity, they will give a lecture. That will spoil the entire show for everyone who is seated here. So kindly note down that. I think with this point, I think I'll go ahead with your permission. Fine. So this is the program which he already explained. This is one of the very beautiful program. In that sense, it is just not, somebody coming and vaguely talking. It is all with experience. For the past, 13, 14 years after retirement, we have put in efforts and we bring all those ideas. And you'll find somebody will be more interested in how you enter the hall, what is your body language, what is your physical personality, which I normally discount, because these days it is more important as your inner personality. Not your IQ, but your EQ, emotional quotient. It is not a question of your answer, but your answer is dovetailed as per the question asked. That is very important. Answering, you can answer anything. And before we go, I'll tell you, when for a prelims examination, the current affairs, it's current. It's when for example, I'll tell you, one of my senior officer, I met him, then he said, what are you doing? I told him that I'm teaching, preparing PDF notes for students. What? You are going to teach them current affairs? They can learn from the newspaper. What are you going to do? Then I said, please come to my one-on-one session. Sit down and listen. And also attend one of our mocks in KingMakers. Then you will know the difference. Then he said, yes, I understand. Because in our period, we never had these facilities. So I thought we have to only go through the newspaper. What is available in the newspaper, you can tell. But this kind of a interpretational, situational, point-to-point answers, I think if it is possible, then I would have learned. I'm sorry, I withdraw my statement. This is what he said. Why I am telling you is that current affairs is very important from prelims perspective, where it is a more of facts. More of facts. Not you're going to write everything and understand. But when it comes to question, it's a keyword. I always talk about, I am a keyword Jawahar. It's always keyword. I will always tell you, if you use a keyword, then the people who sit other side of the table, they understand that you know the subject. If you don't know the keyword, you are beating around the bush, right? you are spoiling your timing given to you. People think they are filling up the gap. We are not there to fill up the gap. We are going to answer precisely in a way which exhibits our IQ, EQ, our understanding of the subject. It is not merely, fact. That is what I'm saying. Interview is concerned. When you mention, you can write in a, sit down, think, and write. Many of you, many of the students, they find it very difficult to complete the 20 answers. That's the difficulty, unless you practice. However intelligent, however knowledgeable, however gifted a person you are, my advice to you is nothing but practice. See, I have prepared this, I sent it across, and you will not believe, morning I attended an AI course, where I am now, I'll tell you. Then, after attending the course, then I had to sit down and prepare for about an hour and a half for the current session. You may know, but you need to be precise, concise, to the point. Then for each and every point, you should have some, when you speak extempore, without a piece of paper, your mind is cluttered, it will not come. There is a clarity as what to speak, then it will be easy. So, we never take it for granted that I know things. I have to prepare and go. And when I conduct one-on-one, I get the, the PDF of the individual, that is the DAF, detailed application form, and go through them the night before. Even it may be 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll complete it, then only I'll go. Then it is something like a doctor who diagnoses what is required. I'm not for diagnosing diseases, diagnosing the requirement. Your SWOT analysis, we'll do through that. Then what type of the answer can be asked. Based on that, what kind of questions can come. So this is the 50-50 chances. Then we tell them. See, everything today, in a world of technology, you can't say you read from a newspaper, you understood the current affairs. That's the, it is absolutely incorrect to think like that. Yes, after reading, there are quite a lot of analytic work that need to be done so that you conceptually understand, factually remember, and to tell in an interview. It is not merely fact, it is not merely writing, but here you need to tell mostly about your opinion. What is your take on a particular subject? What is the kind of opinion? Sometimes they'll ask you to articulate on a different manner. So for a student, whether you are beginner, whether you are doing your prelims or you are doing writing mains, or you are going for the current personality test, what I am going to tell you is very, very important. So don't think it is all meant for a group of people. No. I think perhaps this video will be available. You can go through them again. Well, thank you. See, this is the program, is very important program. Yeah. Friends, this just an introduction about me. I don't want to blah blah. You know, many of you. I'm a former principal secretary. Everything you know. You may know. You may not know what is this. I'm a national level master trainer for Election Commission of India. So certainly the SIR question will come in my mind. We can discuss. Then I'm a secretary for the Indian Institute of Public Administration, Chennai, and also an EC member in Delhi. And I also put something. What nonsense is this? Gen AI coach. Poi solran pandalu ஆரம்பத்திலேயே. You come with me, I will sit down with you, I will operate Claude, Anthropic Claude, Sonnet 4.5 version, I will make, you give me some 10 videos, I'll get it compressed within 10 minutes, I'll give you the inputs in 2 pages, bullet point, essay, whatever form you want. This I got an opportunity to learn recently for about 2 months at Princeton University, New Jersey, USA. This is how sometimes, you don't expect, you do your job. I used to often visit there. There is a museum. Almost there, every university will have a museum, because that is where Einstein studied and Einstein taught. So that was a kind of inspiration. So when as a commissioner of museum, I know how an artifact to be kept. I saw the museum and gave them some ideas. Then they took me, after 7, 8 years, I used to do it. And this time they took me to the provost. Provost is the vice chancellor of the university. Then he was asking me, every year you come, you do some suggestions, we are very happy. What do you want? Then I said, I'm struggling to learn AI. Now that the generative AI has come, vibe coding can be done, where I can bypass some of the youngsters sitting here with expertise in Python, expertise in what other languages. So I said C++, I wanted to bypass them. Then I have started learning this. And why I'm telling you is that nothing is beyond our scope. Only we sometimes tell ourselves that this is my limitation. Okay, I don't want to be today a motivational coach. Well, so we start with what is the current affairs. Now you all know about current affairs. I don't need to tell you. But what should be the strategy that you should adopt? Stay updated. The moment you open the phone, there is an updation, either in the app or in the OS system. Right? So what you do immediately, you don't close it, you say it can be done in the night. So do it so when it works during you sleep. That's the beauty. So what happens is that we go through the newspapers, magazines and online platform. Particularly online platform has become very popular. And my eyesight is only about 20%. So to make up that I can't read a newspaper, I listen to a newspaper. Right? I can get a lot of information. Right? When I asked my gem, I named gem is something, but some of you know about Gemini. We may call it as a Gemini Ganesan. Gemini. It's a Gemini, you can create a gem. I created a gem. It is my own, an agent. I named it after my granddaughter. The idea is, I'm just thinking as if I'm talking to my granddaughter, Niv. So I said, Niv, can you get me this detail? Then it gets me some detail, right? So it's a kind of a so fun-filled world. Of course, there is a tragedies also. Let us not worry about it. Everywhere it is there. Okay, when you read the newspaper, most important thing when you read the newspaper, just confine that to your what? Syllabus. Because your syllabus is so vast, already it is vast. Don't go beyond that. And particularly, I tell you what are the focus areas. So newspapers. Then newspapers where you go through state level, particularly international level, and various focus subjects, I'll tell you. There you read the newspaper, you read them, some relevant, relevant articles, either it may be editorial or op-ed articles. Or sometimes it may be even in your, the attached pages, annexed, you will get them. So kindly go through them first. Then find out what are the papers to be done. Don't read anything without a paper or without your notebook and without a pen. பேனாதான் மனிதனின் 6ஆம் விரல். மொபைல் இன்னைக்கு மனிதனின் 3ஆம் கை. ரைட்டா? அதனால you go through them. And why magazines? How many magazines I can read? Take only few magazines which are relevant to our subject. Of course, I'm not going to say important prescribed magazines. No. I am telling you magazines. Say, for example, Frontline. I don't prescribe, but Frontline, if you go, you select only, in that you select 3 articles. You don't read right from, like me, a retired person, I'll go through from top to, published, edited by so and so. No. You restrict, you should be pointed to because your time is very precious. Then in a magazine you select 2, 3 topics which are again very relevant which are something throwing some idea. Okay, there are somebody, there is a lady who made a big impact on environment, who died at the age of 116. It's good. That is the only fact you need to know. There is no point in, reading all her story. How she was thrown out of the society, all those things are irrelevant for us. This is how we have to read. It's not that we disregard them. I'm making how scopeful for our studies. Any newspaper, any magazine. Then if there is a self-help group, about a self-help group, or about an organization, how they have grown, is that very important? Yes, go through them, turn them. Only topical. Why do you topical you go? You will understand about writing an essay. You understand how to write a main answer. When you find out first, they will frame the content. What are the topics to be discussed? Right? Maybe, for example, if they say, recently, we have come across the crop insurance, a major problem everywhere. Fasal Bima Yojana. So in this Prime Minister Fasal Bima Yojana, and the government of Tamil Nadu has introduced e-Adangal. Right? If suppose there is a proper coordination, leverage of technology, I think it is possible. But unfortunately, people are working in silos. The farmers are left in misery. So suppose somebody is writing on that, it's very relevant to us. Not only just reading and learning, it opens up your mind to new possibilities. Whenever I write an article, I'll say possibilities and challenges. Human mind is always filled. Curiosity is one thing that sustains human being. If I am alive, I am because I am curious. So is the case. Everybody, you wanted to, not only getting into service, after that you should also become a popular officer, friendly officer, a honest officer. For everything, curiosity is a must. So magazines, don't try to, because you bought it for 3 rupees, you should go through. No. You need to, first of all, decide what to read, then read them. If there is a need, then you can take a bullet points. Well, online. The online platform is always very dangerous today because you get a lot of fake. And there is a danger where it's a problem is where you start with your journey in the morning, starts with the news. Then it goes to views. Then you go to Insta will be there. Insta will invite you. Please come. The moment you enter, today not even 2.5 minutes, it's 30 seconds. And you need not press it. Automatically it is going to do it on its own. Your job is just look like that. No? Sometimes even you sleep. You don't really understand what is happening. I tell you, all those who follow these reels, we are wasting our time. Time is very precious. Yesterday I wrote a poem. I said, Oru nodi endrai Bitcoin ku samam. Not even gold, Bitcoin. Well, you know what is the Bitcoin's value today. So online platform is a very, very inviting platform because people, your parents will think, only we know, our conscience will know. Be answerable to your conscience, nobody else. Then, now, what are the relevant areas I should concentrate? I have given you only guessed. Governance. Just now I spoke about this Fasal Bima Yojana. It's a classical example. When you get details, you go through them, different views, then what do? You form your own opinion. Then you will be able to write it in any exam. It's a prelim, facts. Main, I think the keywords you use, then you will do it. Right? That's why I said, e-Adangal is a keyword, because that's we do not know that there is a scheme. But we do not know whether it operates on the ground or not. So now try to link the dots. And today the governance, SIR. Different opinions are being aired. Somebody can invariably, even if you go home, your mom and dad may ask you, what is this SIR? Then you say, I don't know anything, I'm only preparing for UPSC. Part of UPSC is something where we understand what is happening around. So when I see these governance issues, are so many issues today, right? So kindly go through them. What is the relating to administration, governance, any relate? It's a very vast subject. right? Governance, when I'm mentioning economy. Economy is something, which is also spreading its tentacles, and gone are the days where you will be fine with reading your micro, macro. Today there are number of words are being coined. Again, the Bretton Woods is being revisited. What is this Bretton Woods conference? What is this Bretton Woods conference has done? Why is the economy today, Indian economy, finding it, not only Indian economy, many world economies are finding it difficult to manage. Is Indian economy resilient? Is it able to manage, withstand? Yes, you can try it. You can also say no. But will you say no? You are going to enter into the service. You don't go say. So your mind will automatically prepare for yes. But inside you will say, Allah poi, everything is wrong. The all statistics are fake. No. You should always have positive. It's easy to complain, easy to criticize. But how you will be positive? Unless, you are going to be positive, you will be able to contribute. Otherwise, you will also join with the group which are complaining. Is that the aim of going through IAS? Is that the aim of getting into IAS? No. UPSC? No. So, economy. They'll ask you, what is silver economy? What is the silver economy? Is it? Somebody said, sir, silver economy is whatever a country buys silver, whatever is sold. It is the very easiest. Right? It's not like that. Every day there are quite a lot of things are coming up. Then you connect it to the dots. Silver economy relates to aged person, senior citizen, super senior citizen. Then link it up to issues in various countries where the demographic dividends are becoming difficult. In India, it is reverse. But how do you make use of that? And this is how you have to link up with each and everything. Environment. What is happening in the recent COP? Isn't it? The COP. What is this COP? Then you go back to, you link it up, you go back to Paris Agreement. Right? When you do the Paris Agreement, and parallelly you will understand economy, what is the other issues in your Sustainable Development Goal, SDG. So SDG 1 to 17, and SDG 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, it is not at all difficult. Today everything is come in a graph. Everything is given in a form that easily consumable. Health. Health, major issue, particularly for undeveloped countries or developing countries. You put India in where there is an advantage, we say underdeveloped. Where it is an advantage, we say developing country, right? So like that, still there are issues. How this health, it's going to say. Now you can, then social issues. How many social issues there? Immediately you could think about women empowerment. The first thing, think about women empowerment. What are the schemes, both the center and state, that are running it? What is the mandate by the Constitution? DPSP. Is it a mandate or not? It is a mandate, right? DPSP, right? Then social, unemployment. Isn't it? Unemployment. Inequality in terms of income and wealth. You understand? I'm using the word, keyword, income, keyword, wealth. This is how we'll have to put it in our mind, not in between, of, the, they are all irrelevant. If you know these keywords, you will know how to coin them. They are not going to test your proficiency in English or in Tamil. They are going to test your proficiency only in the current affairs and the kind of understanding you make from the current affairs. What is your understanding relating to the subject about your static portion? For example, Election Commission of India. Then you come to dynamic portion. What is the dynamic portion? Today it's the SIR. Right? When it was last done, what was the complaint by the political parties, opposition? And you and I, we do have our own doubts. Right or wrong, we don't know. We have our doubts, right? Then we try to clear them. And somebody says, sir, why not Aadhaar be linked? You have seen in the paper. You also think, yes, when Aadhaar is linked for your PAN card, Aadhaar linked to my bank account. It's all emotional outbursts. We should be away from that, first of all. We should say, what is its legality? When you go to the legality, many of you may not aware that Aadhaar cannot be trusted for everything. That is dependent for everything. It is for administrative function. Like your, what benefit? What benefit transfer? Yeah. Only for that purpose, quite what you call administrative function, it is being used. Legally, the things are found in Representation of People's Act 1950. Right? Then later on they have issued number of them. So when you do, then you can understand. Right? Now you can tell, can the SIR, somebody asked, can the SIR, when it is challenged, goes to the High Court or Supreme Court, can they stay it? Yes, they have the power. Our question is, look into the legality. Will it work? We'll say, invariably, they will not. Because once the election process stops, only the Election Commission of India, as per the Constitution, you have seen what is the mandate according to the Article 324, supervision. What supervision? There are three mandates: direction, supervision, right? So everything will be done only by this thing. Then do you think I don't find any solution? Yes, after it is over, then it can be taken up. Even you have seen many of the WP, writ petition relating to election, will be taken up after the election is over, after the announcement has been done. Of course, by the time the period will be over, that is different, right? So this is how you understand. This is how a civil servant, you have to think like a civil servant. You don't think like an NGO. You don't think like what you call a media person, asking merely questions in your own mind, so that you can easily, ask questions, say, you're all despairing, let me go and sleep. No, you have to find out solution. Well, I already told you the key points. When you can, not necessarily everything can be made into this thing, but there are some unique things. When somebody, a person like Rangarajan, C. Rangarajan, the former governor of RBI, then you will like Kasturi Rangan, or somebody, a very eminent person, when they write, often you will see that eminent persons are writing. Either it's a ghost writing or whatever be that, it is coming up. Their points are, we are able to get those points. So they are the key points. They may use some beautiful language. So what you can do is, you can imbibe them, take them over for your presentation before the personality test. They'll get impressed. We don't tell them, sir, C. Rangarajan wrote that. No. Everything is the general point of view and your point of view. You don't quote anybody there. Then it means that, your this thing will be lost. Number two is opinion. Already I told you. The opinion, general opinion. Somebody says, but what is your opinion? That's very important. Then its implication. What is the implication? If suppose the SIR is not properly implemented, there is an implication to democracy foundational principle of holding election fair and free, right? Then we'll write. We don't criticize anybody. That is the important thing. You are going to provide what is known as a positive contribution. How we can overcome the difficulties. That is how man found out fire. That is how he found out wheel. That is how Edison made 1,000, and today somebody has bet him, making more than 1,000 inventions and registered, patented. So implications are, if you can note them down, it will be available later for a quick revision. We think that our brain is capable of storing large terabytes. Yeah, I understand. But still, what happens that you need to recall them, it will be very difficult. It is something like, you have too many books. You may not know what to start with. Ultimately, you think it is better to toss it, and if it is a head, I'll read this book. If it is a tail, I don't read this book, not some other book. So for a quick revision, it is always good. And why writing? Many people, they stop writing. They take up a mobile phone and they indicate. Yes, I also do that. That is different. But as long as writing is a part of your mains examination, both speed, quality of writing, handwriting, everything is there. I used to normally put a graph. No, first, if you stop, continuously you write, automatically what will happen? Your graph will go perpendicular in an XY chart, right? For 6 months you stop, it will take a small detour, straight curve. Another 6 months it will come down, it will become a K curve. Like our economy is now recovering after the pandemic, right? We all said the L curve, M curve, you understand this is the K curve, right? So for a quick revision, it will be helpful. Get always your books, your notes organized. Unless you get organized, things will get cluttered. Don't complain about anything. When the day is over, you always think and ponder what I have learned today, what I have to unlearn today. So most important book that influenced me is Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. It's a beautiful book way back in 1986. When I read it, next day morning, I was almost changed myself. That is not the time to change, but still, any time you can change. So this Alvin Toffler says the world is going to be a future shock. Everything is going to be a future shock. It is becoming true. After 40 years, it is becoming true, right? So he said, evolve, re-evolve, one word. I am not going to tell you all those blah, 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 which you will forget. Evolve, re-evolve. So today morning, next day, you re-evolve yourself as a different person. Otherwise, you are out in the field, from the market, right? It is true, isn't it? Yeah. Then he says, learn, unlearn, relearn. If you remember these two, somewhere you can quote them, because he is not a controversial person. You can quote them. Like Amartya Sen, the Nobel laureate, he said it is not important about creation of wealth. It is about distribution of wealth. What a beautiful thing. If you are writing the Nobel laureate's entire book, you can explain that, stretch it further if you don't have a big writing material. You can also tell them, sir, way back, Nobel laureate Amartya Sen, he talked about this distribution of wealth. Unless the wealth is distributed through various means, doesn't mean the government goes about distributing it. It has to go through a natural means. What do you mean? Then you get a job. What do you mean that you get a fair, remuneration or fair salary, fair compensation? You have to use a word like, new words, like a compensation. You don't call it as a salary, right? Wages, compensation. Then you can say, unless that is being done, inclusive society, social issue, right? It's not possible. How you bring about inclusive society? How do you make everybody responsible, like people living in Singapore or in Japan? Then you have to quote like this. That's why for a quick revision, it will be there. I'll go fast, taking time. Go beyond facts. That's important. You can always, when you come out of the movie, after seeing the movie, you have your own ideas, right? Either you dream about the hero, because you put yourself in hero's position, you put yourself in hero's position, right? Then you think about like that, go beyond the facts. Then what is it? How this particular visual is making impact? How this particular song, the elderly people cannot understand, you will understand, right? A rap, you will understand very well. Then you say, what a beat. Nobody can beat A.R. Rahman. What a melody. Nobody can beat Ilayaraja. Like that, you go something beyond the fact. He is a musician, music director. But I'm telling you an example. Like that, in every fact that you go through in current affairs, there is a static portion, there is a dynamic portion. Dynamic portion goes on changing. Then the dynamic portion, you understand what is the matter relating to the facts, how it's going to impact on the society. Ultimately, the human being. Ultimately, people. The Constitution is not created for the purpose of, maybe all the purposes. Ultimately, it is for, preamble is there. Go through that preamble. It is made by the people of India, for the people of India. The Constitution is actually made by the people, for them. Right? And also it said what type of the rights we need to secure. Political, economic, cultural, you can add anything, right? So grasp the background, that's what I said. And causes and consequences of events. For instance, I have to tell you examples, only easy to understand. Xi Jinping and our Donald Trump, they meet in South Korea recently. So it's an ordinary event? No. It's a very major issue. What will happen? Geopolitical understanding or turmoil, or it's going to make economy worse or better? Is it going to make impact on what is called supply chain of critical minerals? You understand? Critical, I use the word, not just a mineral, critical mineral. Is it going to make an impact on rare earth elements or rare earth minerals? You can call it both ways. Because lithium ion is very important. Unless there is a lithium, right, it is impossible to have a mobile phone. Isn't it? So very, very important. So the causes and consequence of event. So now I have taken political causes, economic, it's social, and also you can say import, export, trade, what it's going to make, right? So this is how each and everything. When Nepal has a problem, because you know all Gen Z revolution, right? You call Gen Z revolution. What has happened in Myanmar? What is happening today in Bangladesh? Some 2 months back, Bangladesh all appeared, everything is cool, but today, again, like Pakistan, Bangladesh is in the hands of the army. Normally we call every country has an army in its hand, but only in Pakistan, army has the country in its hand. And today one more is joining in that list. Why we worry? Because they are all our neighbors. You know our policy. Look east, act east. Now, neighbors first. So it's all dynamism, it's changing, right? NAM is different today. Non-alignment policy. Non-alignment policy is today different. It is not keeping off. It is wherever there is genuine, we interfere. Not for our personal thing, but for democracy, but for peace of the international and trade, and for everybody's welfare, right? It's all like that, you can elaborately think about it. So every event, because I'm restricting to national, international, there are, again, you can tell anything about state level, right? For example, recent Bihar election. Questions are not going to ask why he won, but there may be a question like, what about this vote chore? The complaint. Somebody says chore, somebody says chowkidar. You understand the meaning, right? So you know how these things are happening, unfolding itself. Not from a political party, it from the angle of a person who would like to serve the nation under the mandate of the Constitution, constitutional morality, right? You wanted to do that. Well, and formulate your own ideas. How do you do it? There are multiple ways. I'm talking about one particular word, critical thinking. We call a particular thing critical mineral. Why? Unless that particular mineral is available, what will happen? The entire industry will not function. There will be a problem. For example, lithium, I told you already. For semiconductor, isn't it? We require certain materials, including, of course, there are a lot of things in semiconductor, but say, for example, for a particular rare earth material, semiconductor, you have a problem, right? Last time, our automobile industry almost came to a grinding halt because the semiconductor is not there. Today, it is not only mere motors that are running. Right? Motors have gone. Today we have EV, right? Even non-EV vehicle, even in what is known as your regular AC vehicle, you need lot of semiconductors for when you press the button, window button. Are you not using semiconductor? This is how you have to think. When you touch that mobile phone, you are using a semiconductor. When you are having batteries working for 2 days, then you have lithium-ion battery. Right? Everything you have to think that way. So this critical thinking. So is the critical. Critical thinking is not siding on anything, but understanding its true patent. What is the problem it is going to create? That is the critical thinking, unbiased thinking and higher level thinking. That is called criticality. It's not criticality. Well, then there are, what you need to practice is articulation. I'm articulating the matter. Isn't it? If I can give you that in reading. If you read this, are you going to get the same amount of impact? No. You are going to get definitely a good impact when I explain them with examples. When I, with my tone and tenor, when I explain, then easily you get attracted, you listen to it, then you understand. So that is why articulation does not mean acting. It means a particular fact. For example, there is what you call sympathy, empathy, compassion. How do you expect? Sir, I am a very empathetic person. Okay, how do you understand? Only through your answers in a PT, personality test. Then you tell, sir, it's really, I am very upset when I have seen so many people die. Why this country be tortured again and again by terrorist group? Am I articulating myself? Don't try to do whatever I do, right? Articulation comes in a different way. Not necessarily we all need to be Shivaji Ganesan. We need to be actors, but we need to explain. Then they'll understand. How about, after all, a country like India with 140 crores, what is the problem? Some 10 people die. Then I say, sir, human resource is very important. Every human being, for him alone, the government is running. So I think it's really important, sir. I'm really very upset on this. So this is how you exhibit your empathy and sympathy. But if you are going to act like this, immediately you fall down on the floor, say, sir, 10 people died, I can't manage, I don't want to go home, I don't want IAS. Then he knows that you are really a drama actor. You understand? This is how we need to, this is called really an articulation. I'm explaining certain things maybe beyond the scope, but it is very important. Engage yourself. Particularly this is for those. For those who are not really going for interview, please take the permission of the management and sit at a distance and watch. This is a beautiful learning. A mock interview. Why mock interview? Because, this kind of interview is not held in our schools and colleges. Even in an academic, in academics like this, every day they cannot teach you about mock interview. You cannot be discussing with them. Most of them are, again, it's Vadyar-centric, right? Your teacher tells you, you listen, one-way traffic, or good that we have interactive sessions. But still, the mock interview, you don't have experience. So a kind of a simulation where we go and sit down. Then we sit before 3 people, 5 people, then each will have their own good question, bad question. Is there any good question or bad question? No. There is only a good answer or a bad answer. There is a saying, there is no bad soldier, there is only a bad general. Like that, there is no bad question in any interview. Only a bad answers. Suppose the question is asked, I think you are unfit to get into service. then you will get up and say, I think you are also not good in service, but you worked in service and retired. Can you reply like that? It may be true, but can you reply? Can you afford to do that? You won't do that. You cannot do. Then you will say quietly, because there they will check your emotional balance. How your EQ, emotional quotient, emotional management. Then you will quietly say, sir, I have been struggling in my life to contribute myself meaningfully for my personal growth in a rightful way. And also, in that process, I will be able to serve this nation. I want to be a part of this India's, what is called, growth trajectory. How it looks like, instead of saying, sir, I want to serve the people. Then a person like me, very critical people, they'll sit down and say, okay, go and have an NGO. You can serve the people directly. Then you get annoyed, right? So the best way is, the answers can trigger. The trigger is another good word. What triggers? But today we get triggered by everything. When somebody looks at us, then we get triggered. Somebody makes a comment, we get triggered. So I'm talking about different positive triggers. Then classroom discussion like this. It all be very useful in that sense, different perspective you get. Tomorrow somebody will tell you in a different way. Is that right or wrong? That is also a point of view. That is all. That is how we select whether it is good, then you accept it. It is for individuals to decide. You make up your mind. Classroom discussion, one-on-one session. One-on-one session is very popular as in KingMakers Academy because we do painstaking. I told you how we do go about. Then for a couple of years, I have been doing personally myself hand-holding. What is this hand-holding? Hand-holding is nothing but it is not only one day of one-on-one session, but continuously either will be on a WhatsApp or will be on RTI or on Telegram, some channel somewhere. It will be every day they can ask you, send you a question. Yesterday I went, some person asked a question like me, like this. Or somebody told me to guru myself, appear before them like this. I am doubtful. Can you enlighten me? We are not going to enlighten, but we are going to tell our answer. Then immediately, if it is urgent, voice message. How many of us is using voice messages? We don't use it. We sit down and find it very difficult to give an answer for. Spend 10 minutes. Sir, 10 minutes is a waste of time. You cannot afford to do that. Time is treasure. Once you go back time, you won't get it. Right? Like that, if you think, then you will try to use other positive method. So once I put it in my Telegram channel, it's all 256 or 500 in a group, or say 750 in 3 groups, they get the detail. Then it is again triggering their own mind. There will be questions. More questions will come. My sleep time gets reduced because I have to answer everything and go. Well, accepting why are you doing this, right? That question I cannot answer. Rest of the question I can give. But that is not an ultimate answer. Again, it's triggering you to think yourself and give the right answer. Then, to articulate your thoughts clearly and confidently. That is what I already been mentioning, right? There, sometimes you say, sir, I think, why you think? I am not asking you to think. I only wanted to answer. Then you will. The other day I saw in a newspaper, I am not worried about what newspaper you read. Sir, according to Hindu, what is according to you? Not according to the Hindu. This is how, it's a totally, different. Oh, this is different. This is the way, it's totally different, right? This is how you can reach 200 mark. And last year, how many people crossed 200 mark? How many were trained by KingMakers? There's one-on-one session. Still, I get a lot of, I told you heard about it, right? People from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, whom we are only interacting on Zoom. They're so happy because the hand-holding is difficult, right? Till the date of this thing, they come back and say, sir, I have done it, I did very well. We don't ask questions because we know pretty well that is not our job. Our job is to help. Then we wait till the results come, and again they come back and tell us. We don't go and tell them. These are some of the principles. Because they know they have their own mental hallucination. Then you'd say, I have trained you, so I'm entitled to answer from you. We don't do that. You know, kingmakers, we don't do that. We allow them to think on their own, and when they are free after 2-3 days, they'll react. They'll come back. It's a human being. We did it. We get back like a Tamil film heroine, straight away get into comfortable position and fall only into the bed. If I fall on the floor, my head is gone. So fall into the bed. Like that, you know, everybody will have some emotional setback. They'll come back, we'll wait. Why I'm telling you, you should understand. Then this relate current affairs to ethical consideration. This I'm not going to very much elaborate, but since you have a subject, right, you're already reading it, so you should understand what ethical consideration pertaining to our civil services. When I mean civil services, it means administration, public management, then government, whatever words you would like to use. And anticipate and be ready for elaboration, to defend your viewpoints. Somebody will say, how do you think this is your view? I think not acceptable. Then you say, sir, you need not accept. From my childhood, I would never worry about others' endorsement. No, we don't speak like that, right? Then we'll say, sir, I can tell you why this reason. I'll tell you 1, 2, 3. This is why I'm thinking like this. Then automatically they'll understand. Similarly, you are defending the viewpoint is very, not in an emotional way, but through critical thinking, and you get your answers. Don't say, emotional answer. You keep it. Yes, everybody is emotional, right? But still, we know where to show the emotion, where to suppress the emotion, right? If you come back, you can show your emotion to your dad. What useless fellow you are. What mom, food is not good. Really, the food is very good. Because your mind is not somewhere disturbed. That you can get disturbed outside because mom is going to manage. She knows pretty well about you. Who knows, right? Only my mom knows me, right? Like that. Then show confidence and openness. I can talk about openness. I told you, many times we give open. Why? We are having a particular view. You can always give reply. People say this, sir, I have to give positive. No. You can give a positive reply or negative reply. But only thing is you should be able to substantiate your answers when they ask additional question. Invariably, such questions they will ask. Suppose I give an answer. They say, do you think we have, India has done enough for women empowerment? I think in Tamil Nadu, all people have done very well. We can stop them. Now we should concentrate only on infrastructure development. Is it true? Then somebody will think, oh, it's my duty to dovetail what he says. Sir, what you are saying is very much right, sir. I have also seen around me, my sister got into service, my younger sister got into service. But I have been trying for 7 years, sir. Nobody is allowing me to enter, whether it's private or public. Is that the way? Maybe true. You have a bigger perspective. Then you will say, sir, you don't say, sir, I beg to differ from you. Don't beg, don't differ. There are kind of some books, we learned like this. Some teachers will teach us. No. Let us be balanced. Then you tell him, sir, no. Women empowerment is something which is very cardinal for our India's development. Isn't it? Women development is very important. So women empowerment is very, very important. So I think, sir, we need to still provide more of consideration. Understand in every, board, there will be a woman. She will be watching you very keenly. You know what women will do? The moment you go out, she will tell, this boy has no consideration for women. You want such a person to be an administrator? According from me, he is 0. Don't give him mark. The other way around, when you go out, he'll say, look at this boy, he's like a gold. very balanced, He wants women's emancipation, women's empowerment to be taken further. You want somebody to appreciate you, or when you go out, they will scold you. They want you should get appreciation, right? This is very, very important. Then maintain a calm demeanor. How do you maintain a calm demeanor? If you are really balanced, there will be a calm demeanor. Sometimes the calm demeanor is not answering. It is not a calm demeanor. That's a disturbed demeanor. Demeanor means how you sit, how you answer, how you raise your voice, how you bring down your voice. People will know before your question is over, he will say, you studied Tamil language. So can you tell me one Kural from Thirukural? Before they complete, he will start telling. Then he say, what is the meaning? Can you tell in English? Then you get caught, right? Wait. Before the question comes, wait. If it is a fact, wait for a second, then you answer. If it is an opinion, you can take few seconds. Not that you go and you become a sannyasi, you start meditating, you get up after 5 minutes and answer. By the time the board would have gone out. So show confidence and openness to different points of view. If somebody says, I don't agree with your point, I think India should do more for infrastructure. I think education is priority. Would you like to defend that? There is no need to defend. Who is telling? Not another student. He is sitting in the board. Then what you will say? Yes, sir. Right? The head is been given to not like this, not like that. Better to get a result. It can go this way and that way. So I said, wait till the question is here. Then quietly apologize. For example, frame your answers confidently. Why? Sometimes we may not know, out of our anguish, we say something against the government, or we may say something inappropriate words. It will always happen. Erring is human and common, but immediately retrieving the ground is very important. Remember, somebody points out, look, I think what you are using, you said a word like elite. This happened in a meeting. We all become elite community. Is it right or wrong? Generally right? But it hurt somebody. He said, if you say we are elite community, you are creating another group called others. You understand what is the meaning? Others. I am superior, they are inferior. You are conveying that meaning. But it is you are not mentioning. Many of the time, what we think, what we communicate is different. So communication is a very large subject. You all studied communication, many of you communication engineering experts. So then immediately says that is not I meant. When I meant elite, I never thought it will give this kind of a meaning. I apologize for the use of my word. I withdraw. We are all one. Everybody is one. That is what our Thiruvallur said. You can say anything, right? So this is how they will find that you are a person who is ready to retract, correct your wrongs. First of all, you have to admit it is wrong. Right? Second time, you should know that correction should be done. Then third point is you put it in action. This is very important. All psychology will tell you that, like that. These are the important things. Knowledge should be there, but not merely just a knowledge. Emotional intelligence. Today, we find everybody, particularly the Gen Z and more important, the alpha. All my grandchildren are alpha categories. Very difficult to handle them, particularly are US born. You can understand how they will be. So this emotional intelligence is very important. For us, all this boomer uncle generation, right? We had 10% intelligence and 100% emotional balance. So totally 110 out of 200. This is the equation I give. But today's generation, either it's alpha or Gen Z, IQ is 100, EQ 0. Total 100 out of 200. Still the boomer generation wins. So understand the importance in a big group where there is an emotional intelligence there. He wins. He wins the shot. All sensitive positions you will find people are not able to manage. You get all the inputs, right? You are from IITM, you are from IIT, you are from IIM. That doesn't make all your decisions are right. When you go there, you should be able to carry with other officers. You should go with the policy of the government, right? Then this is very important. And you should reflect on your strength and weaknesses. There's again question. We immediately ask, what is your strength? Before we complete, say, sir, right from my childhood, I'm a voracious learner. Very good. I read 200 books a day. Very good. I can speak to anybody without difficulty. Very good. What are your weaknesses? Then you will look east, west, up, down. Nobody is without weaknesses, right? But I cannot say, sir, I think I am unfit for IAS. That cannot be a right answer. Then you will have to say, sir, my handwriting was very poor. I corrected my handwriting. I used to procrastinate. I never used to complete the job on the same day. That I have slowly corrected. But maybe sometimes I will try to completely overcome that. This is two major things personally I view as my weakness. Then this fellow will know that you have a number of other weaknesses. There is a thing. There is no need to tell all the truth, but whatever you tell must be truths. எல்லா உண்மையும் சொல்ல வேண்டியதில்லை, சொல்லுவதெல்லாம் உண்மையாக இருக்க வேண்டும். So you know your this thing. Then value system is very important. What are your values? If you don't have value, how do they consider you into service? Simply because you will find that he is a very intelligent, he has done PhD, post-PhD. Will you say, sir, I am certified by Microsoft, I am certified by this thing. You should be certified by UPSC, right? Then you need to have values and motivation to kind of enhance your confidence and their confidence in you. Critical moments include what all includes. I told you about tone and tenor. I explained all those things earlier. Now it will be very clear. Understand the tone and tenor. The tone is the voice I speak. The tenor is the kind of emotional touch I will give. There are people who talk in a very loud voice. All of a sudden they'll come very low. Then again go back. It's like music. So the tone and tenor, sir, it's all gifted. You are in God's gift. No. God is gifting everybody in every way. We need not be a good speaker, right? You can be something else. You may be a good coder. Don't be a cader. Do be a good coder. Then you get into a cader. And you'll understand the language, the nuances. Never, use filthy languages in your life, because it is the usual sense in America when they use certain words. It is acceptable to the society. But here, it is not. So why kaniruppa kayika vandattu, right? When there is a fruit, why go for which is not a fruit? Still it is to become a fruit, right? Then same is the clarity of thought. Go with the clarity. These are the things when you are clear, you'll be able to do it. Articulation, body language. Body language is very, very important. And today generation is, they don't care about it. Why I'm telling you is I'm not complaining. I'm a part of it. I also did that wrong. See, the body language is something, it becomes, because you are very intelligent, there is an arrogance. You get annoyed when somebody is questioning you. Everybody can be questioned. Everybody can be questioned. If you know that, if you become a district collector, I had occasions where somebody questioned, what type of a character you are? This road doesn't have a toilet. What will be your reply? What will be your reply? Do you think I am administrator for the purpose of constructing toilet and running it? she'll invariably say, yes, you are getting a nose cut. But rather you will say, yes, I understand your requirement. We have some issues. I will talk to the corporation. I will see that it's been done. Please bear with us. There ends the matter, right? This is what is the way in which you are. Then take this lady out. That is what you have seen, number of people, they get into trouble because of the words they use, because of the gesture. Somebody will say, what does it mean? I don't want any thing to talk against in this group. You will simply listen and toe to my lines of thought. Is that democracy? No. Even if it may be inside, you don't reveal it. No, your body language is very, very important. And in an interview I have seen, what is this? Why is this coming? Why these kind of questions are asked? You did MTech VLSI. Can you tell me what is this VLSI, few applications of VLSI? Sir, I did it some 7 years ago. Then one person asked me, when did you do your degree, sir? I politely said, 73. Do you remember if I ask questions, can you answer? I just leave it to you whether it is right or wrong. So there are very other, the scenario-based question. This is very important. They'll simulate, just you are doing a simulation, they'll find out. See, you are going to your tribal women. They are engaging without their knowledge in destroying environment. What you will do? Somebody will say, sir, they are offenders under the Forest Act. Correct? Right or not? Right? So I will book them under the Environment Protection Act. I will put them behind the bar. You will say, no, sir. I will send a team of lady officers because they are all lady women. They will go and explain them what they are doing is wrong. And they will find out what is the alternative livelihood for them. So I will make into self-help group. I will provide number of government schemes are there. I will provide them help. Whether you do it or not, if you don't have that mindset, how can I make you enter into civil service? So this is the important thing, the ethical consideration. Then your articulation, I already told you several times, some decision-making skills. You are not going to decide, but they will ask you, what will you do? As I was asking about how will you manage? Sir, it is very simple, sir. Whatever the farmers declare, self-attested, it should be accepted and the amount should be given to them. Then later on, post-inspection should be done. And if there is a wrong, we will recover the money. A good decision or wrong decision? Then he said, no, it's a wrong decision, isn't it? Very difficult. Once you give the money, you cannot ask for. So it is also encouraging them to good, bad, ugly, you cannot find out. Everybody will try to push up their losses, they will make it. Then you can say, sir, now the e-adangal is not functioning. You make the e-adangal accessible to all farmers. They can download along with the photo. They can make a claim. Based on that claim, 50% can be immediately released. 50% within 30 days based on VAO's field inspection and online. Sensible? Sensible? Or you can have your own solution. Whatever be there, it is sensible, right? Like that you have to think. There is a, what I call, ethical considerations are there. They can tell you, case studies can be given to them. I used to normally ask one question. We are all worried about the birth rate, death rate, right? So you want to see that the Government of India is giving a scheme. Government of Tamil Nadu, state government is giving a scheme for pregnant women, right? You know pretty well. I don't know. So under the scheme, you want to see that there is 100% coverage. As a collector, what will you do? Sir, I will conduct a meeting. I give sermon. Is that the way? Everybody can do that. You have to show, sir, no sir, I'm an engineering graduate, I know how to make a dashboard. I'll put all the details. I know particular village this week, who are the women who have missed their medical test. So I'll immediately make an automatic message to them. The automatic message will go to my VAO and health officers, and they will do the supervision, and I'll give the time for 48 hours to again take them and rectify that. Then I'll ensure, you see, is it possible or not? I tell you, most of you are engineering graduates, right? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Like that, you will be able to make, so your decision making should be very important. Fuse your answers with the ethical concepts. That is what we already did, right? When somebody said, women already had their share, why do you have more for women? We leave it. Then like that, very important in an interview. And use deep breathing. And I'm not becoming a yoga master, but this is only a tips. Whenever, not only in here, wherever you go, you want to meet somebody. First time you have been asking to stand before the camera and say something about your experience in something else, education or something else. Then your words will not come out from your mouth. That's natural, no? Don't think that we are all not gifted. It's a natural. Then we'll say, I will practice once, come back. You practice and again go back. What do you do? Take a deep breath. Then leave it. So hum, which means you go just like water spreading on you, which means it is cleansing all these things. It's all your own inner self, right? You don't do big magics and you take a chocolate. Before you go to the interview, take a chocolate. Why? Because Paris chocolate is good. No. Why? Because the sweet will immediately give you energy, sugar energy. There will be a sugar spike which will be helpful to you. These are all simple things. Maintain composure. We don't go around asking, do you know who has come out from the interview? Who is sitting in the board? Oh, that guy, people say he's very bad. Do you know about him? Yesterday I saw in Chat-GPT. Somebody will say, no. My father was working with you. Then you will get more marks, this kind of a conversation. Wherever you go, whether it is a public service commission or UPSC, try to maintain. So even somebody will be coming, they'll provoking you. Your shirt looks good. Then you get elevated. Then somebody will say, why are you dressing like this? They don't like without a coat. Because he's wearing a coat. He's trying to browbeat you. So please maintain a cool composure. If somebody says, then you will say, okay, thank you. He will not come back to you again. If you react, he will come back to you. So again, feedback. What is the feedback whenever they give? Very important. Particularly, we should learn how to get a feedback, correct ourselves. Note down the feedback. Sometimes they give a feedback which are not relevant to you. You excuse them. You don't scold them. What type of the feedback he has given? Why do you worry? If there are 10 points given, 2 are relevant to you, take that 2 and correct them. Right? That's very, very important. I have read about what is called spot learning. We call in service as on-the-spot learning. On-the-job learning. Which means, one day I will work as a commissioner of civil supplies. So it's all regulation relating to regulatory mechanism. You are not indulging in any business there. How your PD is running, what is the requirement of corrosion, whether government allotted, whether distributed to the PDS system, whether PDS there is a complaint, all these things you look into. Next day they appoint me as a managing director for Tamil Nadu Civil Supplies Corporation, where I become a baniya, businessman. Or I go to actually I act as managing director, Taskmark for 4 years. Right? Then what do? You do your job, that's all. Right? Then you make real sense. So feedback is very important. Wherever you are, you get a feedback. Oh, that's on the job learning. Whenever we write about our subordinates, PF, personal file. Very critical points we write. I always take one thing. Whether he is a spot learner, which means wherever job is given, he'll take some 10 days, he will understand the environment, ecosystem, he will do it. Such a person will give 9.5 out of 10. We don't look into his back history. We don't look into his certificates. We don't look into his school. Is he from corporation or a convent? Doesn't make difference. So this is how we have to learn, spot learning, right? What spend, I told you one-on-one session, panel discussion. This is again reiterating them. Advanced preparation strategies. It's for everywhere. When you cross prelims, you have different type of exam. We all think it is the same type. Basically, it looks like the same. Not so. It is something like when you go to a death, how do you dress? When you go to a wedding, you go in a traditional form. When you go to a reception, how do you go? You wear lehenga. You put a round collar, or you put a sherwani. Like that. You don't do it. When somebody is in a, what you call, mental despair, you don't go in a suit or sherwani. You go the traditional way. You show your, empathetic feeling, not acting, but really have an empathy for them. Like that, you for everything. Either it is a writing, you make more writing, more notes. You want to talk. If you think somebody has taken only 2 marks, somebody wants 5 marks, it is okay. Absolutely okay. I always tell, when I read once, I always forget. When I read 3 times, I never forget. So for me, I have to read 3 times. What is you? You decide. You are a one-time reader, you retain. 3 times or 5 times, go do it. That's all. So preparation. Then role playing. What is this role playing? We have seen only role playing in many, your TV shows. Right? You have to do like this, you do like a donkey, do like a monkey. Here the role playing is different. Now for example, you say, sir, I am a very good speaker in Tamil. Then what I will do? Normally a speaker, when our age, is expected to be extempore. Don't memorize and keep a piece of paper and speak, right? So I will say, okay. Now, you presume yourself to be a lawyer, an environmental lawyer. You say that the government, particularly they are giving lands near the wetland area for construction purpose. Now you tell. It happened in an interview. Then as he stood up, he spoke like a lawyer. Then he said, now you act as a defense lawyer. Then he acted like a defense lawyer. Then he said, you are the judge. You understand? This is to find out how your position, when it changes, you will be very quick in changing it and answering them. Not that they don't want to listen from you, they want to see how you react. Right? You understand that? You may be saying some nonsense, I said, because you don't have a lot of inputs, right? You can speak generally. You can say, sir, water is important. My lord, you have seen, right, films. My lord, the water is an important, today 1 liter water bottle sells more than the cost of 1 liter milk. How it has been comparable? They need to save the water. Then again you say, sir, comparing this, water may be free. How about the plastic bottle? How about its purification? How about the network of sending it? It kind of justification. And what is your judgment? Whatever be the price, milk should be there as important article. That should have a better price. It is something like your pattimandram, like your debate. You say something. Then there is a simulation with stakeholders, citizen, media. Develop empathy and adaptability. Empathy, right? Put yourself in other man's shoes and think. Sympathy is only verbal. What has happened? What a poor man. And you forget about it. Empathy is put yourself, and I can at least give him 100 rupees. So you can have. Now something, food to survive. Right? That is real empathy. So you bring whatever is empathy, adaptability. You should adapt to the situation. Today they say, so-and-so is coming, you have to listen to him. First of all, what is he going to talk? Is it going to be a waste of time? Adopt yourself. In a situation, people would have worked and they found out this person is desirable to talk on this particular subject. That kind of adaptability, wherever you go, you get yourself adaptable. Very, very important. The survival of the fittest. Right? I call him survival of the fastest. Because the world is becoming fast. The moment before I think in the night an idea. Next day morning I want to get up and do it. My own peer group somewhere in San Francisco or in, say, New York, for him it is a daytime. He will make a note and he will do a patent registration. This has happened for many people, including some people before Newton. Do not get into controversy, but adaptability is very, very important. A real life example. You can always cite whatever you are seeing, your experience in a taluk office. Somebody would have done good to you, somebody would have done bad. You can always say, sir, both happens. We have seen all subordinates are not corrupt, all higher-ups are not lily white. It happens, sir. There are always, it's a vertical. Efficiency or honesty, it's vertical. You can talk like that, no? It will look very good. Then you will do some decision-making skill. Draft a coherent narrative connecting to your background. It is very important. When I'm saying our background, the first question is, introduce yourself to the board. Tell us something about us. What do you think, how you think yourself suitable for civil service? Sir, I have written the examination. I'm suitable. Is that the answer you'll give? No. As I already told you, you make a small introduction in writing. You will write first 2 pages about your introduction. Cut it out. Then you'll make a crisp introduction. Sir, my name is so-and-so. I come from this district. My background is this. I studied in government school. Later I studied B.Tech in such a school. This is my one-line achievement. You don't try to say, my father's name is... No, that is all not required. My father is a farmer. My mom is a school teacher. And if somebody says, my mom is a housewife. How bad it looks. Even UPSC follows that pattern. Because I told them, but they say they have to make correction in the form. I don't know. Even latest I have seen, they have not made correction. Nothing wrong. It's all in the progress. I'm not blaming them. But still, I take one more time, they'll do it. Right? So you instead will say, sir, she's a homemaker. It does reflect every word. It reflects your personality, not your every cloth that you are wearing. That's only for first impression. The best impression comes from your answers. So that is why I'm telling you, this need to be a very, what do you call, your personal narrative about you. Tell me some experience in your college. One good, one bad. Then, sir, when I was studying, I had a teacher, then you are recalling everything there. Why don't you prepare something, it's all probable question. You have time, you sit down, prepare, take a piece of paper, you write. Right? Then you note down one pleasant experience. You worked in a private sector. Sir, I worked earlier in TCS. What is your experience? Good, bad. Tell me one thing. Then he says, sir, the kind of, before we go to job, the kind of training they give is awesome. Whatever deficiencies we have in our college studies, that has been done very well. What is bad about it? Sir, the entire corporate sector today, I think it is not good. Corporate governance has become very worse. The governance of public administration is better, isn't it? You say like that, that has some meaning. Or you can tell whatever, your own inspiration, your experience. That's what I said. What is wrong in asking some VLSI, you studied MTech in VLSI. very large scale integration. You can tell what is your very large scale integration, where it operates. If I ask you, what is can you tell me something which is end-to-end encryption? Every day you are using it. Sir, what's up? It's end-to-end encryption. Do you get metadata? Yes, sir. You get only a metadata of who spoke to whom, who sent a message, but it is encrypted. Nobody will know what is the content set. But it is this metadata is enough for a police to initiate investigation. What are you doing at 11:30 in the night? You are talking to him for 15 minutes. If you are going to ask him something like how are you, or you are communicating something, why do you take 15 minutes? This is how investigation will start. Well, I am telling you, just understand your aspiration. Why do you want to come into civil service? You can talk about civil service expectations, the qualities that are required. Then, integrate your knowledge. How do you integrate? With your sociology, particularly when I talk about social issues that are very important. When I mean sociology, economics, PubAd, and for a well-rounded understanding. Last time, I said when Trump and Xi Jinping meet, we did not stop. It is an important, you can also say, sir, it is something, it's going to create a large impact in the world. Tomorrow the world is going to get reshaped. It is all not at all relevant, right? You are speaking like a person without stuff. But instead you are talking, sir, political, economic, social, trade. Good, two lines each. That is makes a well-rounded understanding. Normally I tell that whatever you are learning, various subjects are given. So every subject knowledge you get is something like a honeycomb. What do you do? Honeycomb, you don't take out honeycomb, because honeycomb is created by honey, not only by the nectar they take from the flowers. What they do? There is an enzyme. That is, the enzyme is what I am telling about all these things. Everything how to convert it with your enzyme into a honey. Then once whatever you want, a question comes, you press it, you get drops of honey falling down. That honey contains a combination of economics, politics, environment. Does it not contain? Yes. Then it comes through your hand and comes out as an answer. The only thing is you should learn how to critically think, how to execute it. If you do it, practically it will come. This is called a well-rounded understanding. Engage with current civil servants. So whatever, your seniors are there, talk to them. But I have seen number of people spending lot of time with those who are come out successful. Yes, you listen to them, but don't try to follow them. Success formula is different for anybody, for different people, for different way. I heard somebody saying, I never touched newspaper, but I got All India rank 3. I leave it to your imagination. You want to do the same thing. It's going to be a tragedy for us. Like that, discuss with them. A lot of the UPSC alumni, number of our staff, like Madhavi, your Adil, a number of them. I'm not able to recall everybody. They are all, people who have got a lot of experience in writing, in teaching. So take cues from them, learn from them. Still, these people are learning from me. That's kind of an understanding. I learn from them. That is very important. So they get a lot of valuable inputs. These are all crisis response. All of a sudden, you will see when there are 5 people, 2 people will be started talking and they'll be laughing. You will immediately think they are talking about you. That is our response. Then your mind will think, what these people are talking about me, or you wanted to answer. Multitasking is possible for a few, but not for everybody. I am incapable. So what you do is, you are not worried about what is happening around you. Even if there is a car bomb, Only after the answer is over, you look around. It is said easier, difficult to do it, practice it. You put it in your mind, right? Respond. This is the crisis management you do inside a hall. Many a time the crisis management is done by the people who sit in the board. We are asked to keep our eye contact with every member. Number one, you keep everything within the loop. You don't ignore them. Number two, most important thing is, when you are giving a wrong answer, you will find a body language. What type of answer you are giving? You are not understood. Then you get a cue, then you make a correction. That is why we ask you to keep an eye contact. You can tell anybody. Many people will not be able to tell this. Critical thinking under pressure. If you are in an AC room, you sit, you are given time to work out, it is okay. When I'll narrate a small incident. When there is a kind of a law and order, a huge law and order, unmanageable law and order, when I was collector Madurai. So, the people, kind of people near Usalambatti and other areas. So they put their children around me so that I cannot move. They say, if you don't give a word, you can put your legs on our children, go away. What will you do? How will you respond? Then the police they will immediately say, I will manage. What I did, I sat down on the floor. I was talking to the children, the small kids. Normally I don't do that, but I have to do that. First of all, to save the situation. Then, they become little friendly. Somebody in the group says, look, he is a good man. Talk to him. Why are you doing all this nonsense? You always find somebody standing in your side. It happens, right? When you make an accident, there are at least two people by your side to support you. That's a law of nature. You don't deserve something, but it's a law of nature. So immediately you do under that pressure. How do you manage? The next day, you go, those people, they come out, they sit around you. Sir, sit down. Yesterday you said some scheme. Why don't you give that scheme to us? How do you making a miracle change? You have to also exhibit, right? It's not like, open fire. Then first person to be killed is you. So we have to work under that kind of cultural competence. This also, why I'm telling you cultural competence, this is all out of my experience. You don't find it in any book. I can challenge you. Why this cultural competence? What do you mean by cultural competence? Why you are hailing from Madurai, my dear gentlemen? Why it is called a cultural capital of Tamil Nadu, of India? What is the UNESCO? Why declared Chennai as one of the places for music out of 3 places? Sir, because the music is very good, sir. It's good for music. Then you have to say that the traditional music, Carnatic music, particularly during December, you will have sabhas are having program. Thereby the tradition of music is being held. What is the importance of Madurai? Then you tell about Madurai, Meenakshi Amman temple. What is the problem? Some 3 places you think interesting. You say, tell about 3 places. Tell one word each why you like it. Right? I like this place, sir. You don't immediately say, sir, I like Ooty. Everybody likes Ooty. You have to tell something unique. Your own place you will find. If you are hailing from Krishnagiri, Delhi. Like that, every place you can say. Then this cultural background. We are reading about our culture, right? But we are not able to coherently tell them. If you go to US, somebody asks, we are proud of your culture. We will give a sheepish look because further question we cannot answer. It is not about Ramayana or Mahabharata. It is about our culture. Then we will say, sir, we have a different culture. Culture does not mean, we will say, sir, culture is how one behaves. The culture is what he is. Culture is what he wears, right? But it has to be put in a proper way. Even in South, you will find out every state has its own special function. We today respect that, right? We make it a national event. These are the kind of a cultural understanding should be there about our country. Very little. When you go active listening, many people, they don't indulge in active listening. They look at me very intensively, but maybe their mind is elsewhere. I don't know. So please listen till the end of the question when you are answering. Give a proper response, respectful response. Even if you want to differ, sir, I think I have a little different opinion. You allow me to express that opinion? Instead of saying, I beg to differ from you. Same thing, and both are same, right? Both are same, right? Then you take a permission. Then they'll say, that is the important thing, active listening. Listen to them, intent listening. Nothing matters when somebody speaks in an interview hall. You have to give them 100%. Why? For 2 years or 3 years, 4 years, labor comes to a fruition only at your table when you are having your PT. Then say, I have tried my best. No, you have not tried your best. You tried best to cover your deficiencies. You never attempted to improve your qualities. Right? This is not what I am saying. Your mind voice will tell you. Right? So this is very important. Respectful. Ethics I already told you, right? Ethics is very, very important. Somebody says, when you are conducting an interview, your brother is also participating. What will be your response? It's up, your, ethical balance is there, right? How will you manage? Then somebody will say, sir, it's very simple. I am for the country. I will not select my brother. Then you will say, sir, my brother is also one of the candidates. We as a team will evaluate, we will not give additional weightage. But if he is naturally being selected, I will also toe in line with the group. Is it, which is the right answer, do you think? Which is the answer, that second answer. The first one is the emotional answer. Invariably, when you are appointed as a collector, you will put your brother as some position, if he comes for an interview, right? So don't, like that, a civil servant should be able to exhibit certain qualities. That, you try to imbibe them. It is very easy. Then later on, it will become your habit. The first they say, start acting like a good man. Then you become later a good man. That's the way to do it. And public trust. Any action. I told you, about today, we talk something, that doesn't carried by the people. You have to carry the public trust. You are saying inside the room, but your heart will say that it is in public trust, in public interest, isn't it? So whatever the decision, today you are not going to take a decision. You are only a simulation. A question, answer, that's all, right? Really what is not going to happen, we don't know. But here, you'll have to do that. Informed decision making. We talked about decision making. It's an improvised statement. Your decision is based on proper information, not by hearsay, not somebody said it emotionally. No, it is grounded. We'll call it as a grounded. When you make those who have worked in software will know, grounded. It means it is grounded well on particular facts, right? Like that. Then anything will be societal impact. What will be its societal impact? What will be its your ultimately welfare, right? Welfare of the people. Any question that comes, you'll have to talk in favor of people. That doesn't mean that you start saying that we are for people, but through your constitutional mandate, rules and regulations. Leadership, role modeling. Role modeling, I already told you. Leadership. You have to prove yourself like a leader. Think like a leader, always. Right? Think like a leader. Don't think like, the Führer, Hitler. Think like a great scholar who was managing the state. You would have seen Ratan Tata. Right? We are inspired by him, the way he behaved. Like that, anybody can be our role model. being leadership. Policy formulation. They want you to make a policy. I told you about how we can make the tribal women from desisting from any act detrimental to environment or forest. Then we also ensure that there is a problem and we put them for their livelihood. For example, fishermen. Isn't it? Fishermen issues are there. How do you manage? You give your own suggestion, right? That suggestion should be grounded. It should be a proper policy, fair, just, and inclusive. These three words are selected. Fair, election, fair, right? So fairness should be there. Just. Just means it should be justiciable. It should be accepted. Test of reasoning. Have you heard about the test of reasoning? This test of reasoning was discussed at length by Supreme Court in one of the judgments. When it said, in a group of 10 people, you tell a particular proposition, 9 people accept it, which means it is reasonable. It's a test of reasoning. If it is not in law, you are all aware about Article 142, complete justice, total justice. Why that kind of a leverage is given to law? Why is given to judiciary? Because sometimes whatever be there in writing, whatever there be in practice, may not be sufficient to provide a justice. So we have seen this total justice these days in many of our judgments, isn't it? So inclusive, very, very important. We are all one, right? An inclusive society, inclusive development. Amartya Sen, never forget, Amartya Sen said, creation of wealth, distribution of wealth. Creation of wealth is not enough. Distribution of wealth should be necessary to call yourself an inclusive society. Not that you make everybody wear a suit. You make everybody at least to have their minimum requirement, standard of life, minimum standard of life. Isn't it? That is what we'll have to say. Well, the fair, just, inclusive. This will be good narrative for your essay, good narrative for your fourth paper, and also anywhere you need to use this word. Crisis management. I've told you about how I manage a particular crisis. Most of the time, if you don't manage the crisis will manage you, and next day you will get a march order from the government. Isn't it? You have seen, no? The collectors go, join for 2 days, either they go out or they are sent out. Why? Because something is not properly been handled. Sometimes your luck favors or disfavors. That is okay, that happened. But your thinking, your management should be good. Sustainable development. Very important, right? For us, we are all sitting here to do sustainable development. We don't go away after 1 year. We don't go after 2 attempts. We know pretty well it will take about 1 or 2 attempts to understand. Some people it is easy, some not easy. It's okay, right? It is okay. Then the sustainable development goals. Somebody can ask you sustainable development goal. Very important goals are there. What is sustainable goal 1? You should be able to tell. How will you incorporate? If you are a collector, there are a number of acts, right? Then you can just explain. I don't have time to explain, but socially responsible practices. We are all talking about environmentally responsible. You have a plastic paper, you take it out. After all, it is a Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean. It will join Pacific Ocean. Put it. Do we do that? No. It's a responsible environmentally. If somebody is on the road, you'll find 2 people are fighting. Or somebody, I don't want to interfere in fighting, but he says somebody got into an accident. What will you do? You'll go, you call the police, you can do it. Earlier we had a problem. Today you are a Good Samaritan Act is there. You are protected, first of all. Then the government of Tamil Nadu has a scheme where they give you 5,000 rupees for it. Under Ennuyar Koppam Napathettu scheme. Like that, you should be able to responsible practices. You can only tell them responsibility. That means you fill up your mind with that kind of a responsible thinking, a responsible action. First of all, through your mouth will come. Where your acting comes, I can assure you, you will do that. Because mindset, it changes. Accountability. Today what we find everywhere missing, accountability is something which is missing. We are accountable. It is not a question of, some kind of vague idea. No. It is a grounded idea, wholesome idea. So we are answerable for everything. If you are sitting there as a collector, you are answerable for something. You don't think you are answerable only for a senior officer or a political boss. You are answerable to the public. I told you when I answered like that to a public, because that is the way we need to work. So ethical network, the focus to be greater accountability. These are all I'm including because it can be used in the interview, it can be used elsewhere. Ethical network crisis management. This also I explained. We don't have time. Then ethical framework. You are going through why I'm lot of ethical I'm mentioning. Because the emotional, ethical aspects are coming up in number of questions. We think they are going to ask only current affairs. Some people they'll ask only ethical. Some people they ask only current affairs. Some people they restrict only with ADAF. But you have to be prepared for everything. Just like a cricketer. You cannot call a cricketer batsman. No, batter. Batswoman cannot be there, right? So batter. Correct? So this is how we have to enable ourselves to present ourselves properly. So say the batter, when the fielding is being done, every ball he runs around. For 1,000 ball, only one ball will come nearer this side. Whether it's a third man position or it's a cover drive, whatever be that, I'm not good at it. So it comes there. But only 10,000 times, only one ball comes directly into his hand. For 10,000 times, he has to be ready to get one catch. That one catch takes him to, it's a catch or a match. You have seen many situations. A catch completes the match. It may be what do you call, 2-1. So you are completing the game. You become the man of the match, man of the series, by only one. So the 10,000 matters, not this one. For one is for others, but 10,000 is for us, those who are doing it. You have seen Rishabh Pant. Do you think that he can come back and play? He is again injured. He is again going and taking treatment. There are a number of such people who inspire us. How many people we are about, we go to this thing, they'll ask you, who is your favorite batter? You will say, Rohit. You will say, somebody else name. How many people will say, Mithali Raj? That shows your mindset. That shows your accountability is less. You are accountable to yourself. You understand now? So then you will say, I like my batter for men, for women, or among them, latest, a lady is playing such a beautiful game. Manpreet, how she played the game, how she enjoyed the game. Isn't it? You have seen all in WhatsApp and everything. You pick up this, not your AI DeepSeek. Not DeepSeek. Ethical. Ethical framework. Stakeholders engagement. If suppose they'll say you are working in a group, there are 4 people. Somebody says it is not acceptable. How will you convince him? Why should I convince her? I'm going to be an IAS officer. They'll have to listen to me. He will be a response. Then I tell him, sir, I will find out what is the truth behind his argument. I try to convince him. Otherwise, I will take them. We are 7 people. Let us go and vote for it. And before that, we agree. When it is agreed by more than 4 people, it should be done this way. It's also a democratic way. You cannot go and plead before them. No, there is a point. After that, we do like this. Then they'll say you are able to carry on stakeholders with you. Crisis preparation, that's important. Before the, every time the monsoon, we'll have a meeting. Then there will be ceremonially, somebody will speak. You do that, you do this, your fishery department, you keep boats, you keep your highways department, you will have number of saw and also those who are workers, vehicles. Health department, be ready with your ambulances. Nobody will do that. But it is not correct. We have to, if you are a civil servant, in mind, in action, then you will say crisis management. You said how many you have, how many you can manage, how many you can borrow from other districts. Madurai has all facilities. So Sivagagi collector will speak to Madurai collector. He will manage. You understand how we do it. Like that, these are the crisis preparedness. Then there is a compassionate leadership. I have given you already leadership. Compassionate leadership is something, you put in other man's shoes and think. If he is right, whatever be your view, you say, yes, you are right. I accept, I change it. Then he will go out and say, I never thought this man is like this. He is like a god. This is a human being, nature, no? Everybody is like this. Then you are handling misinformation. We talked about informed decision. Now we are talking, everything I put it in a negative way. That is why I put informed decision first. Whether that information is right, are you carried by misinformation? That is also your responsibility. You have seen a video, which takes away a tiger, enters and it drags a man into the forest. Your heart stops for a while. My BP went up. Next day I saw it's a fake news. Should I carry this everywhere and say, be careful with the tiger, one day it will eat you out? So I am spreading nonsense. Is it my responsibility? No. So like that, you need to have how to handle them. These are all I have written. We can discuss about it. Each slide we can discuss for about 1 hour. Handling misinformation. Equity and fairness. Again, I am coming back to, these are all, you will not see, because all, earlier I said is directly being done. These are all making yourself. Like you have a good ingredient first you keep before you make. You should have a good rice. You should have a good salt. Isn't it? Before you start cooking. There are people who start cooking, then you say, where is sugar? Where is salt? Then they, instead of sugar, they'll put salt. That is, they are doing in a hustle. We don't do that. We do, equity is that everybody is equal, right? And Constitution has guaranteed equality, not only in writing, in several places. My vote, your vote, a man who is not educated vote, does it carry same value or not? Same value. Whoever is, that particular age who reaches, he has got the same. One untransferable vote, non-transferable vote. That is called franchise, right? Adult franchise. That means it cannot transfer it to me because somebody is employed, maybe doing some, force on him to vote. But still he is free to go inside. Nobody can see what he is doing. He will do his preference, come back and say, I did it for you, right? Like that. Then fairness. Fairness is very important. You do everything fair. In your own circle, you will get a good name, right? Your friendship, your family. If there is a kind of a dispute that goes on, you don't go and say, he happened to be your close friend. Then you will say, what are you? You are not supporting me. When there is a dispute, when it comes for a discussion, what do you require? Fairness. I support you, but in this case, so-and-so is right. This is the way it should be done. Of course, now, suppose you say you are to pay penalty of 2,000 rupees, he cannot pay. You can give him 2,000 rupees. That's empathy. That's friendship. That's fair. Here you cannot try to support him. Then reflective practice. It's very, very important. It's a big subject. Reflective practice. It's everything, whatever happens. Today you'll go out and think about it. Why this man is talking so elaborately about all these things? Is it relevant? Is it simply making something useless? It is for you to think. It's all reflection. How many people write your reflection notebooks? Diaries are very difficult to write today. All our secrets will be out. But you can always write a reflective note, which means what you think in your mind. Today you can write, I have seen a best person who opened my eyes. You can see the best person I have seen. Without any pills, you listen to me, you can go to sleep. Both are right, it's up to you to write. Your reflective writing. Before you go to sleep, just sit down and think what I have done today. Have I wasted my time? All bitcoins are wasted. One bitcoin is today $1,20,000. Imagine, one day the same bitcoin was sold for $2. And people approached me, I said, of course, that is on a different ground. I don't want all this thing to enter, so I said no. But if you are really a businessman, you should have got it. Right? For $2 today, it becomes more than $1 lakh. So this is a reflective practice, very, very important. Then you are learning. Then every day you try to make yourself improve. Don't try to compare the person who is sitting next to you. Excellence has got only one thing. Every day you see whether you are better than what you were yesterday. Another thing, somebody who is sitting by the side, don't go somewhere, sitting by the side, you are better than him. Doesn't mean that he is lower or something like that. You try to do it. Even you can help him. No, he will become better than you. The peer learning, all beautiful system. So reflective practices are very important. Because some words you would not have heard, these terminologies. No, in a classroom it is very difficult to do that. So long-term recovery. If there is a sustainable practices, you can do it. For example, today we have a big deposit of lithium in Ladakh. It's such a fragile system. Is it possible? It will be maybe possible, may not be possible. So we have to, long term, you have to think certain. And with this, I think we'll stop, we go for the upcoming sessions. Two wonderful people, Dr. Sivasailam and Dr. Bhamati Madam. Wonderful people. They'll come, they'll talk about various subjects. It is already written here. He is a guy who fought in 1971 war. 1971 war. And this lady, she fought for the sake of people who had a problem with the forest guy, revenue and forest guy. What is that case? Perhaps you will be knowing about it. Now we'll come to the last, the Q and A. Any question and answer? Anything online? Online, you check up the comments. I'm not able to check up the comments. Huh? You are able to see the comments?
Yeah.
It should have come here, right? Nothing, no comments. Very well, there is no comments from your side. If the only thing point is you can use any language, right? Tamil, Hindi, Malayalam, I know that, so I can speak. That's not a problem. Or make it concise if there is any question, or I'll wind up. No questions? Give the mic to him. Take the mic, then only everybody can understand. Quick, walk fast.
Yeah, cool. That's why yes.
At 72, I am standing here for more than 1.5 hours. You people cannot stand up and walk.
Sir, you said, sir, the cultural background places, you said, sir. If I talk about my native place is Kumbakonam, if I am taking longly answer or shortly answer, sir, that's why I ask, sir.
No, everything, it's based on a, you are not going to eulogize your particular place.
Okay, sir.
Something, always when you say something, I told you late, how it created a reaction. It is not like
sir,
that.
I can tell one answer.
If someone say, what is your speciality of Kumbakonam? When I mean a cultural, it's in a total atmosphere, an Indian culture,
Okay,
Tamil Nadu or South culture, like that.
Okay,
If they ask you about speciality of your place, then you can mention religious places.
Yes, sir.
Then you can mention about every 12 years you are getting
Yes.
Mamangam, people will come there. That kind of faith they have, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Okay, sir.
Like that. You don't try to, dismantle the other's claim.
Okay, sir.
You don't say that I have come from Kumbakonam. He is very fast.
Okay, sir.
Then you must be related to my wife. She also comes from Kumbakonam. Any other question? You want any question more?
Thank you, sir.
Tamil kelunga.
Sir, I have been 2 interviews before, but the problem is that in my marks I did reasonably well, but then in the real exam I become too complacent. How to avoid it, sir?
Yeah, very good. It's a very good question because normally, we will try to, because we have been practiced to write a lengthy answer. Introduction, issues concerned, solutions, then your reflection, your problems, then you come to a way ahead or conclusion. This is how we write. Either it's an essay or it's an answer in mains. Here, there is no such this thing. You start abruptly. When the question ends, you start. You don't repeat the question. You don't give, we are not going to teach them. Suppose say, sir, the election commission has recently announced this. Then you will say, I know that. The SIR, last time it was done in 2002, sir. I know that. I'm asking this question. You tell this answer. So, we know how to answer precisely to the question. I used to always tell them, don't exceed more than 30-40 minutes in your mock interview. Then automatically you do that. Or you make it truncated or packages. First package, second package, third package. So you give the first package. They look at like you, no, not enough. Then you give the second package. Then they will give you third package. Right? You understand what do you mean a package? You give the first quota of your answer. The second quota of your next level. So if they stop with that, either for want of time or they understand you know everything. So let us go to some other subject like that. Instead of making like a train, when the engine enters, what happened? 21 compartment has to go through that. You understand? Now you are making into a 10 lorries. When the first lorry goes, they say enough, then stop it. They said send the second lorry, you send it. I'm just making a fun, right, situation. But this is the reality. Slowly you get adapted to it. You are very much right. I did the mistake, same mistake. Because that is how it comes. You only try to give long answer. Then next method, another method is take up some 10 questions for which you know the answer. 10 questions, you know the answer. Then you ask somebody to ask the question, or you yourself will ask the question, then you record. Please do the same thing next day. Same question. Please do it on the third day. The third day, you will find your answers are becoming more and more refined. And instead of 20 minutes, now you will find within 5 minutes, you are able to answer it. So these are all some of the techniques we need to adopt. That is why we are coming to places like this. Why we are giving you all these suggestions. We want you to cross through that. You just see last time how many people have got through highest marks in interview obtained from KingMakers Academy, where they have been trained. I'm not just for saying for commercial sake. I'm not a commercial man. Right? I come here and go. I do my own other assignments are there. I'm a freelance. I write for Malayalam Manorama. I write to every month one letter to one article to Dinamani, right? Particularly on Serkai Nunarivu, artificial intelligence. Any other question? Yeah, please. I'm sorry, I'm not able to get I can't see your eyes. Please talk.
சார் நீங்கள் எஸ்ஏஆர் பற்றி சொன்னீங்களா சார், ஸ்பெஷல் இன்டென்சிவ் ரிவிஷன் பற்றி. இப்போ வந்து நான் ஒரு ஒப்பீனியன் சொல்லாமா சார்? சார் எஸ்ஏஆர் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து டபுள் ஓட்டிங் சிஸ்டத்தை வந்து அவாய்ட் பண்ணுறது தான் சிங்கிள் ஓட்டிங் சிஸ்டமாக கொண்டு வராங்க சார். கவர்மெண்ட் easily cross check the immediately sir, because fully digitalized sir in election commission. If when the person mention the Aadhaar number, automatically the double voting system will cancel. One person, one vote only, the government said, sir.
Yeah, very good. Your question is exactly I answered already, but you are still raking that question. In SIR, why not simply add Aadhaar system? So once the Aadhaar system is given and updated, almost 98% people are having, but still there are Aadhaar could not be corrected, could not be updated, could not be obtained by a number of people. Our principle, not a one person to be sent out. So you have to depend not on Aadhaar Act, but on People Representation Act when you are sanitizing the electoral roll. That's the issue. So when you do the sanitizing election roll, who is the authority? Election Commission of India. It is right or wrong will be decided only after it has been done. You cannot interfere with the process. If you are going to interfere with the process, you are interfering with the democratic process. Election is the basic of democracy. Any other question? Any question? Right, thank you guys. I think I love the way in which you were remaining patient and gave a good listening. Wish you all the best, and those who are watching and later will be watching the video, please listen to it and join KingMakers Academy for your PT preparation. This is very, very essential, and we are there to tell you what you should do, how you should do it. We are there to help you out, and please go to the website of KingMakers Academy and or contact them in our phone to get the details. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Waste பண்ணக்கூடாது. I've already pocketed it. Thank you guys.